the girl who looked at the sky and refused to look away. Welcome. Before you scroll, pause for just 5 seconds, because this story can change how you see your life. This is not just the story of a woman who went to space. This is the story of a girl who refused to accept the limits of her birth. If you have ever felt small, if you have ever been told this is not for you, if you have ever doubted your own dreams, then you are exactly where you need to be. Today, you are going to learn how an ordinary girl from a small Indian town trained her mind to reach the stars, literally. Her name was Kalpana Chawla, the small town that never imagined space. Kalpana was born in Karnal, a simple town in Haryana, India. There were no rockets, no astronauts, no science labs, only dusty streets, small houses, and quiet nights. But every night, Kalpana looked at the sky. While others saw stars, she saw destinations. She did not know English well. She did not know aerospace engineering. She did not even know what NASA really was. But her heart already knew, I am not meant to stay here. The first psychological shift. Psychologists say, the future of a person changes the day their identity changes. Kalpana did not say, I am a small-town girl. She said, I am a future astronaut. Your brain believes the story you tell it. And Kalpana changed her story early. SCHOOL, where her dream was questioned. Teachers liked her. Friends respected her. But when she said, I want to work with airplanes and space, people laughed. Girls were expected to choose safe careers. But Kalpana chose the sky. She joined an engineering college. And that decision quietly changed her destiny. The first battle with self-doubt. Engineering was hard. English was difficult. Subjects were complex. Money was limited. Many times she wanted to quit, but she didn't. She made one powerful rule. I will move forward even when I am afraid. That rule built her mental strength, the decision that shocked everyone. After graduation, she did something unheard of. She decided to go to the United States. No money, no support, no relatives, just courage. Psychologically, this is called identity courage when you choose your future over your comfort. America, a real struggle began. She washed dishes. She lived in small rooms. She studied at night. Loneliness was heavy, but she remembered the sky. Every small step felt like flying closer. Her first big break. She entered the University of Texas, aerospace engineering. Her dream had now entered reality. She worked harder than anyone because she was not competing with people. She was competing with her past. NASA, the name that felt impossible. One day, she applied to NASA. She did not feel confident, but she applied, and that one action changed history. She was selected. What you should learn from. 1. Your identity shapes your future. 2. Courage is action, not confidence. 3. Fear is not a stop sign. 4. Small towns can produce global legends. 5. Your story changes when your thinking changes. The girl who trained her mind to enter space. Welcome back. If you are still here, it means something inside you is awake. Because this part is not about NASA. It is about how an ordinary human trains an extraordinary mind. And today you will learn what made Kalpana Chawla mentally unstoppable. America, the land of new struggles. When Kalpana arrived in America, reality hit her hard. She had a dream bigger than her money, bigger than her comfort, bigger than her language skills. Her accent was different. Her food was different. Her clothes were different. She felt invisible. Many nights she cried silently. But she did not return home. She remembered her promise. I will move forward even when I am afraid. The psychology of loneliness. Science says loneliness increases emotional pain but also strengthens resilience. Kalpana turned loneliness into learning. She studied longer hours. She practiced English. She asked questions. She built knowledge. While others relaxed, she prepared. Her study routine. She woke early. She revised lessons. She wrote notes. She repeated formulas. Discipline became her wings. She didn't rely on motivation. She relied on habits. And habits build futures. The first step into NASA. She joined NASA as a researcher. Not an astronaut yet, but she did not complain. She believed. You don't enter your dream in one jump. You enter step by step. The moment of doubt. NASA work was intense. Mistakes were costly. Pressure was heavy. There were moments when she thought, maybe I'm not good enough. But instead of quitting, she trained more. She asked mentors. She practiced simulations. She corrected errors. The astronaut selection. NASA opened astronaut selections. Thousands applied. Kalpana applied too. She did not feel perfect, but she applied anyway. And she was selected. The training that broke comfort. Physical training. Mental training. Emergency drills. Survival training. She trained in deserts. In water. In darkness. She pushed limits. Her body got tired, but her spirit grew stronger. The brain under pressure. Neuroscience shows repeated exposure to controlled stress builds mental toughness. NASA did not just train her body. It trained her brain. The first flight to space. Finally, Kalpana flew into space. From Karnal to Cosmos, a small-town girl became a space traveler. What you should learn from. 1. Loneliness can build strength. 2. Habits beat motivation. 3. Small steps create big futures. 4. Training builds confidence. 5. You become what you repeatedly practice. The woman who trained her mind to live above fear. Welcome back. If you are still reading, something inside you is growing. Because stories like this don't just inform, they reshape thinking. This part is not about space technology. It is about mental power, emotional discipline, and invisible courage. This is the chapter where Kalpana Chawla stopped being just a student and became an astronaut in her soul. The day her life changed forever. The letter arrived quietly. White envelope. NASA logo. Official words. But inside that envelope was a storm of emotion. Kalpana read the line slowly. You have been selected. Her hands shook. Her eyes filled with tears. Years of struggle. Years of loneliness. Years of doubt. All answered in one sentence. But her journey had only begun. Entering a world built for perfection. NASA training is not kind. It is not soft. It is not forgiving. It is designed to break weakness and reveal strength. Kalpana stepped into a world where every second mattered. Every small mistake could cost lives. And fear tried to enter her mind, but she had prepared her mind long before her body. How her brain learned to control fear. Psychology explains. Fear is the brain's alarm system. But courage is the brain's training system. Kalpana trained her nervous system daily. She practiced emergency simulations. She repeated procedures. She visualized success. This trained her brain to stay calm under pressure. Her days during astronaut training. She woke up before sunrise. She exercised. She studied spacecraft systems. She practiced underwater simulations. Her muscles burned. Her lungs felt heavy. Her mind stayed focused. She welcomed fatigue because fatigue meant growth. The night she almost quit. One night she sat alone in her room. Her body was tired. Her confidence felt thin. She thought, am I strong enough? Then she remembered Carnal, the sky, the girl who promised herself to reach the stars. She stood up and said, I am not done. And that sentence saved her dream. Her first flight, when Earth looked small. Inside the shuttle, she floated. Earth looked like a blue dream. Borders disappeared. Problems felt smaller. She felt gratitude, not pride. Her mental shift. She no longer thought, I want to reach space. She thought, I belong here. That mental identity shift made her unstoppable. Her quiet leadership. She helped teammates. She listened more than she spoke. She believed. True leadership calms others. After returning, the real test. Fame arrived. Media followed. But she returned to training quietly. Because greatness is built when no one is watching. What you should learn from. 1. Fear is trained, not removed. 2. Discipline creates courage. 3. Identity shapes destiny. 4. Fatigue can build strength. 5. Quiet consistency creates legends. The Inner Sky. How Kalpana Chawla mastered her mind. Welcome back. You have followed her from a small town in India to the edge of space. But today you will enter the most important place she ever conquered. Her mind. Because rockets don't make astronauts strong. Mental discipline does. When life became loud. After her first space mission, Kalpana became famous. News channels wanted interviews. Schools wanted speeches. Young girls wanted selfies. But inside her heart, she stayed simple. Because she understood a dangerous truth. Fame can distract you from your mission. So she chose discipline over distraction. The psychology of focus. Modern neuroscience proves focus strengthens the brain's decision-making center. Distraction weakens it. Kalpana protected her focus. She limited unnecessary conversations. She avoided emotional noise. She chose deep work. Her daily mental routine. She woke up early. She exercised not only for the body, but for emotional clarity. She meditated quietly. She visualized her goals. Visualization trains the brain to accept success as familiar. How she handled pressure. NASA missions are heavy responsibility. Every experiment, every calculation, every movement matters. Pressure can break people. But Kalpana saw pressure as preparation. She did not panic. She slowed down. She reviewed systems. She double-checked procedures. This reduced error. Her relationship with fear. She did not remove fear. She befriended it. Fear reminded her to stay careful. But she never allowed fear to decide her future. She decided. When she missed home, she missed her parents. She missed Indian food. She missed familiar sounds. Loneliness came quietly, but she wrote letters. She read. She prayed. Faith gave her emotional stability. The second mission, she trained again. She prepared harder. She believed in growth. The last flight preparation. Before her final mission, she was calm, focused, peaceful. She said, I am ready. What you should learn from. 1. Focus builds clarity. 2. Discipline beats distraction. 3. Calm creates accuracy. 4. Fear can guide, not stop. 5. Faith creates emotional balance. 6. Silence strengthens thinking. The star that never left the sky. Welcome to the final chapter. This is not an ending. This is a beginning. Because some lives do not finish. They continue inside millions of hearts. And Kalpana Chawla is one of them. The call for the final mission. After her first successful space mission, Kalpana could have stopped. She had already become a legend. She had already written her name in history. But she did not stop. Because she was not chasing titles. She was chasing purpose. NASA called her again. Another mission. Another journey beyond Earth. Another chance to contribute to science. And she said yes, without fear. When everyone else saw risk, people worried. Family members were anxious. Friends were nervous. Space travel is never fully safe. But Kalpana believed, if we wait for perfect safety, we will never explore. She respected risk, but she never let fear freeze her future. The day before the flight, she stood quietly looking at the night sky. She thought about Carnal, the small streets, the little girl who once whispered dreams to the stars. And she smiled, because she had kept her promise to herself. Her last letters. Before leaving, she wrote messages to young students. She wrote about discipline, hard work, curiosity, courage, never giving up. She did not know these would become her final words, but they became her most powerful ones. Columbia, the last journey. The space shuttle Columbia lifted into the sky. It was powerful. It was beautiful. It was history in motion. Kalpana floated again. She smiled again. She worked again. She lived her dream again. The psychology of purpose. Psychologists say, people who live with purpose show higher emotional strength, less fear of death, and deeper peace. Kalpana lived with purpose, and purpose gave her peace. The tragedy that shook the world. On February 1st, 2003, Columbia was returning to Earth. Something went wrong. The world watched. Then the signal was lost. Silence. And then heartbreak. Kalpana and her crew were gone. When a nation cried, India cried, America cried, the world cried. But her dream did not die. What she left behind. She did not leave money. She left courage. She left belief. She left a message. Your dreams are valid. Schools, roads, and rockets. Today, schools are named after her. Scholarships carry her name. Space programs remember her. Girls dream because of her. Your turn. You may not go to space, but you have a sky, a future, a dream, and a choice. The final lesson. Your birth does not define your ceiling. Your courage does. Your background does not limit your destiny. Your mindset does. The end, but your beginning. Subscribe for more powerful motivational stories, because your dream deserves your discipline, and your sky is waiting.